for other people to join. In the meantime, I'll share my screen, and this webinar will be interactive. So you can scan the QR code, or there is also should be a link in the chat that you can click on and then join when we will have some interactive parts for this. I can see some friendly faces on the list of participants. So hello. Nice to see you again. Okay. I think we can start. You should hear me now. I think also LinkedIn joined us already. So let's start the webinar about repricing AI. Of course, I will have to tell you a bit about strategy, the pricing strategy, because this repricing AI, this is a solution based on my experiences with consulting, with pricing consulting, with results in e-commerce. And the name of this tool is repricing AI, but I would say that 80% of it are algorithms and only 20% of it is AI. So maybe it's a bit misleading, but it's based on the experience, and AI is, I'm sorry, but just an addition, and algorithms is the main part of this, because I don't believe in only AI. So let's start with the presentation. Few words about me, just really quickly. I am head of product in Dilavo, but I'm also responsible for consulting in Dilavo. So I help some of our clients sell more and earn more. Before I was working in Gillette, Procter & Gamble, SpaceX, and Krav Maga school. So quite a wide range of experiences, not only Dilavo. And now let's go to how I see Dilavo and the pricing strategy and what should be covered. And from this, we'll go to what is covered in repricing AI. So as you know, we have price monitoring in Dilavo, so we provide data about the prices of the products that you choose from the websites that you choose. So you choose like 5 websites, those products, and we find all the offers on those web pages, and we provide it in Dilavo, in the app or by API, up to you. So this is only the information, only the data, and you have to make some decisions based on this. If you want to automatize the processes, you can make repricing, set your rules, and based on this data and the rules, we will set the prices automatically. But for this, you need to have some strategy. And with the strategy, we help with the consulting and with webinars like this. And with the strategy, I believe that the most important things is the choice of the assortment to sell proper things that people are looking for. You need to know the roles of the assortment. I will tell you more in a second. If you were at the previous webinars, of course you know it, so I will not go really into details. If you want to know more, we'll paste in a second a link to recordings of the previous webinars, and you can know more about identification of the roles and the roles in the assortment. When you have roles, you need to have good pricing strategies. So if you have those strategies, then you can make the automation in the repricing. You need to know how to increase the cart size, so people not only are buying one product, but the more that you are recommending. You have to know about your competitors, so not to compete with everybody, but only with the selected ones. And you need to advertise properly and proper products. Now, how we are helping repricing AI and which areas we are covering, we decided to cover those 3. So we identify your assortment, the roles in the assortment. We assign proper roles, and we define competitors. The rest is on you. I will tell you in later in more details what you should do, but I think it's really important that you don't only have repricing AI on, but you're also covering those areas because everything works together. Maybe one more thing. Of course, this webinar is also recorded, and you will get the recording afterwards. And why we know that this strategy I told you about works. So I make this consulting with clients, and when they apply my recommendations, we can really see the increase in sales of the top products, revenue. Why in 3 months? Because I would say honestly that around 1 month it takes me to learn about your enterprise, to generate recommendations, and later you have to apply my recommendations. And of course, we need to some time to wait and see the results. So this increase is, I would say, almost immediate when you apply the recommendations. Then you see the growth of complementary products when you do properly cross-sell, and when you make the bundles. It's something that I found that people love bundles and they are bestsellers. And of course, you can see the improved profitability. And now about the pricing roles. Sorry, I have to close the door. About the pricing roles. So going really quickly, how people are buying in the e-commerce. Of course, when they are trying to buy TV, they are not only trying to buy TV, but they also want to buy other things. For example, a hanger, a wire, a spray. So when they are looking for the store, they are not looking for the cheapest offer for all of them, but for the cheapest offer of the most expensive products. So when they are looking for this set, they are looking for the cheapest offer of the TV, they go there. And if you are smart enough, you're recommending also a hanger because you know what people are buying together, wire, and of course, maybe some long tail, some additional product can be spray. And when you have this division of the roles, you know which product generate traffic. So this is TV, which build the shopping cart. This will be the rack and the wire, and which one generate profit. This will be a spray. I'm going really fast because majority of you know about this. If you want, once again, there are recordings, but I just wanted to refresh the knowledge. And the question is, if you already know what are the roles of the products in your store, once again, you can join here and please vote. Okay, so we have the roles. Majority of you know the roles, one person doesn't. If you don't know, it's good to really go into this previous recording and check how to define the roles, because probably you are selling your products too cheap. And now, how we do this, how we generate those roles, how we learn about your products. So we take your transactional data if we have integration done by DLavo. So it's with BaseLinker, JTL, some other systems, or we take analytical data, then you can integrate with Google Analytics. If we have both, this is the best. And based on this or this or this and this, we can define your traffic generators, your shopping cart fillers, or profit generators, because we know how people are buying. Of course, it's harder to find products, the roles of products that have no sales and no traffic, because maybe there is a product that is popular on the market, but your price is too high and people are not buying it. So let's say that the minimum price on the market is 50, your price is 100. So you see no traffic, no sales, but maybe this is some bestseller. So we are also finding those products, and with some testing, we are decreasing the price, checking if the traffic increases, and then we know if this is traffic generator or this is just something else. So not everything can be read from this data. Also, we are making some additional tests and checking, because we have quite more information about the products than only your transactional or analytical data. So basically what we do is we take your data, we make this division for the roles. We have traffic generators, shopping cart fillers, profit generators, and potential traffic builders. This, you should already know this division. And how it works, this testing. So for every of this group, we make a cycle. First, we take the data, or we update the data from your system. Then we generate roles for the product. Then we make the testing, so changing the price properly. And after some testing so far in this version of repricing AI lasts 28 days, we make verification. So we check if the assumption with the roles work correctly, and then we update the data and we go with the cycle again. So to give you some example how it works, let's say potential traffic builder. So once again, this idea about the product that is now too expensive and it's popular on the market and you don't see any sales. So let's say that we took the data, transactional data from Shopify, or analytical data from Google Analytics, or both. So first we take the data, of course only for the monitored Indielavoo products. Then we make the analysis, and we found that one product is potential traffic builder. Now it's too expensive because your price is 100, the lowest price is 50, you see no sales and only 2 views. So generally, I think you would say that this is long tail, just don't do anything with this. But we see the potential because we have more information, and we do the testing. We decrease the price gradually, and we see if the traffic increases. Of course, the traffic has to be taken from Google Analytics. If we have only transactional data, we will look at the number of sales. And then after the testing phase, we are going to verification if the number of sales increased with the decrease of the price. In fact, we are looking into the gain, the total margin that we gain from this product, because of course you could have some sales before, and decreasing the price not always goes to transits into higher traffic or high enough that you have more sales. So we are generally looking if you are earning more on those products. And if the verification cycle says that you're earning more, we are confirming our thesis, hypothesis, and then we are taking another group of products that we will be making tests. We are not making the tests on all of them at the same time. We are making some testing on groups. And now the question for you is, if you are making such tests, so you see that product has potential and you are selling it with not enough volume, maybe because the prices are too high. So if you are making some tests like this, that you decrease the price to see if the revenue increases. It's a tie. So some of you do, some don't know where to find the data. Of course, the data you can take from, for example, if you have Google Merchant Center, there is some section like bestsellers. You can check if the product is there. You can also check on Idealo. Once again, there's separate webinar how to find the products. What I generally I say about how I help in consulting finding this, so you can learn from this. But generally, I recommend also to do checks like this, because maybe you think that something is long tail, maybe you can make some more tests and increase your traffic, revenue, etc. And another example is with long tail, because not only you have to have high prices, but maybe there is not high price elasticity on this. So once again, we get data, we generate roles, your price is 70, the lowest price on the market is 100, sales, you have 10. So let's increase the price with the testing phase. We gradually increase the price, check the number of sales, and in the verification cycle, we check total margin, if it increased or no. Because, of course, maybe if you increase the price from 70 to 100, then the number of sales will drop from 10 to 9. But it's still better to sell it for 3 times more and have, or 2 times more or something like this, and have 10% lower sales and still be more profitable at the end of the day. So generally, we take data, we generate roles, we do the testing, and then we verify if really you're earning more. And now the question to you: if you see that the product is added to the basket, not as the first one, but as the second, third, fourth, do you test the increasing of the prices and if it affects the sales? So such testing of price elasticity for products that are complementary. Or maybe you just set the price and say, okay, that's it, I don't have time for this. 5 out of 6. Yeah, so 6. If you do this manually, this is great. Of course, you can go here, you can make the automation. If you don't do, probably you are losing some money that you can earn more because you set some price and people are not really comparing the prices of those added to the basket products. So another idea what you can do. So as I said, the principles of repricing AI is that system works on the batches and verification cycles. So we don't take all the products at once, but we take a batch of products, we verify them, and then we check if you're earning more. We check if for traffic builders, decrease of the price increases traffic and total margin. We check on long tail if we can increase the price with no impact on conversion. We find the potential bestsellers and we verify if they are really, if it's worth to decrease the price to increase the traffic. And what you have to do is to assign products to AI rule. You have to set minimum margins, or generally the limits for those products. So as you can imagine, you can add few groups to AI rules, and then probably, or categories or brands. You want to set few different margins. And of course, you can do this with DLAVO because you can create multiple rules. So you can make 5 rules, for example, set for every another minimum margin, and we will treat them as one group of products in AI rule, and we'll just analyze them together. Of course, also you can mix strategies in DLAVO. You can use both condition-based rules and AI. I will tell you in a second how to do this in the best way. So in repricing, in DLAVO, you have additional column where you have the type of the rule, AI or competitor-based. And you can choose it in the, when you create the rule, you can choose, I want this rule to be AI, I want to be competition related. And maybe one more thing that is really important, maybe you read it from the data that we gather, is that AI rule sets prices only for eShop and price comparison websites, because we take your transactional data from your eShop, but also Google Analytics works only for your eShop. So we cannot do so far AI rules for marketplaces because we don't have this information about the sales and etc. We can do this only for eShop. And in the rules, you cannot set anything about the rule or price rounding, but you can set, as usually, the minimum price, maybe minimum margin. Now a bit harder thing, because we got requests from our clients who were testing this solution that they want to have still condition-based rules that with integration are sending the data to your system, but they want to have some testing phase of AI rule that will generate recommendation but will not send them to your system. And for this, we decided to make some additional setting, test AI rule. And thanks to this, we'll create recommendations for the rule, but will not send them to the system. So if you want to check it, but not send the prices, you can click this checkbox. You will have price recommendations for the tested batch of products, but will not send those recommendations via integration API, etc. So this is some idea how you can check the tool. And a good rules for creating the rules are like this. So you should create two rules. One is AI rule, and why is that? With the highest priority. Why is that? Because we are making some tests here, as I said. So let's say that you have 100 products, and in the first cycle, we'll be testing first group of products, let's say 10%. So 90% of products are not managed by this rule, because the rule is still learning. But of course, I want you to still manage the prices of those products. So you need to create another rule with this classic strategy with a bit lower priority. And the system is clever enough that it will take first from the AI rule the products for testing, and for the rest, it will calculate from another rule. So if you have 100 products, 10 products will be calculated from AI rule, and then it will go to the remaining 90 products will go to traditional rule. In the next testing cycle, 20 products will be here, 80 here. So the system will adjust automatically the products to the rules according on its phase of testing. Of course, it works the best, these AI rules, when you have the cross-sell and you promote proper products in Google Ads. And I will tell you how to do this because it's still on you. So about the cross-sell, based on the example that I gave you in the beginning, I checked some websites and I found that if you are going to buy TV, a big store is recommending also a soundbar here. So on the main page, even not below the fold of the website, you have opportunity for a cross-sell. Another category of products, you're buying paper, and this is interesting. You have two kinds of cross-sell, maybe bundle created immediately by the seller or frequently bought with. Once again, there is separate webinar on this. I'm just giving you some idea what has to be done, because we will recommend this product to be traffic builder, this to be transactional builder, basket builder. We will decrease the price of this, having bigger traffic, but we will increase the prices of this if this is really some long tail, etc. And without your cooperation in this recommendation of the cross-sell, you will not see the higher results for selling of the long tail. If you have this in place, this is great, but I just want to mention that this is really necessary. And another thing is about Google Ads, because I know that a lot of you spend a lot of money on Google Ads, and probably a lot of this money is wasted. So I believe that part of the good setting of Google Ads is to look at the prices of the products and margins. So one more thing, as you probably know, but I just want to underline this. In Google Ads, you pay for every click, no matter if person is buying the product or no, you're still paying. So every click matters. And of course, you want to increase the conversion. And I believe that this is connected to the price. So if you have competitive price on the market, you will have high conversion, and you have uncompetitive price, you will have low conversions. And this is also, we verified that this is confirmed with our tests. But something else that is not included in ROAS formula is margin. So if you don't know the formula, generally it says how much you got, you sold your goods for, divided by the how much you spent for the advertisement. But there is nothing about the margin there. So I believe it's also good to take in the margin into consideration and have another axis here. So when you have competitive price and good margin, then promote those products. But if you have low margin and not competitive price, just abandon those products, don't promote them. And probably you could say that, so that's easy, just move this budget from those products here. But this product is like 10% of your portfolio, and this is about 70%. So you cannot move this budget here because you will not use it. Even Google Ads cannot spend all this money if there is no traffic. So you have to find those shades of gray. And maybe these are the products that have good margin but not competitive price. If you sell it, that's fine. You have good margin. You can spend a bit more on promotion, have a bit lower ROAS. Still, you will earn on this. But in the fourth quarter of the chart, we have products with competitive price but low margin. And this probably will be your traffic builder. So the low margin is low. Margin is low on this one product. But if you have good cross-sell, on the whole basket, the margin will be good. So those probably will be your traffic builders that you should promote. This will be your long tail. Maybe this will be also long tail. Somebody's sometimes buying. And those may be traffic builders that you bought in a really good price. So generally, you should abandon those 70% and move the budget properly to different groups. So when you have traffic builder, you have good price, you are showing everybody that you have good prices, you are attracting more traffic, people are coming to buy the traffic builder, you have the cross-sell. In the cross-sell product, you have better price, better margin, people are adding them to the basket, you have average size of the basket higher, you have better average margin, people are buying more and more from you, and you are earning more. So you don't have to be the cheapest one on all the products. We are choosing on which products you should be cheap, on which you should be expensive, and people are buying it properly when you have everything in place. We are planning to make a separate webinar about Google Ads. If you want to sign up, here's the QR code. I believe it will be next month. I will say about this strategies, how to use price monitoring data for Google Ads in more details. And now the competitor selection. I will tell you about two approaches. One is the approach that I make in consulting, and another one that we make in repricing AI. But why is it important to select competitors? So when you have only data about the prices, so what we do in price monitoring, you have the lowest price for retailer A, $12.99. So you want to be the cheapest, you will set 1 cent lower. And that's great, you have the traffic. But maybe you can do something wiser. So if you go really into details, and we do this in consulting, We know then that retailer A has only one piece of stock. This guy has no visibility. This guy has bad reviews. This guy has long shipment. This has only 10% of your assortment. Nobody's buying from him. Only the sixth retailer is a good one. So you don't have to have such low price, but you can go £3 higher. The traffic will be still the same because nobody wants to buy from them, or one guy will buy from him. But with your traffic doesn't make any change. If we consider that you are £3 more expensive, you have similar traffic but much higher margin. And of course, in repricing AI, we are not going so deep that we check the online visibility, but we are also checking quite a lot of things, choosing the proper retailers that we don't compete with everybody, but you can have a bit higher prices. So to sum up, repricing AI, what we do, we assign the product roles for the products. We set proper pricing strategies for those roles. We make the cycles of the verification if our assumptions, our assignments were proper, and we also choose competitors. So how it looks like, we take data from price monitoring, we take data from Google Analytics, we take transactional data, so it can be, once again, this or this or this and this. Integration with Google Analytics you can set on your own. This has to be with our integration that we create. You have in repricing the automation strategy, one click and you have the proper prices. And when you have the integration made by DLAV or via API, we will send the optimal prices to your ERP system. And the minimum requirements for you to have this repricing AI is at least 500 products monitored in DLAV. I don't say that 500 products have to be in the rule, but at least those many products has to be in DLAV. You need to have transactional data or analytical, as I said, and transactional can be taken from BaseLinker, for example, or JTL, and analytical data can be taken from Google Analytics. And in the setting tab, you have this setting window where you have to give us access. You have to put property ID, choose from which column we should take ID of the product, and how many days we should analyze. This is for you, the number of days, because we will show you number of sales, traffic, etc. in columns in products tab for every product. But for repricing AI, we don't take this number under consideration. This is just for you. And we know that can be quite hard to analyze the data. So we added some graphs in our dashboard. So in dashboard tab, we added two charts. One is showing sales and margin data. So the blue whole column is the whole sales. So we show data from the last 90 days. They are aggregated by weeks. So this date is the beginning of the week, and we gather this data every day. So this is the number of the revenue, total revenue, this light blue plus navy. The navy is your total margin, and this line chart is the average margin for the week. So you can see how the products are performing in your portfolio. Here you have analytical data, so you have number of views, number of adding to the cart, and number of units sold. So you can see how those two correlate to each other. But of course, when we add repricing AI, you need to check, or I believe that you need to check how are products performing based on the rule. So we added another filtering. There is filtering by type of the rule. It's repricing AI, traditional one, or products without a rule, and by the segment. So long tail, traffic builder, potential traffic builder. And thanks to this, you can check how products are performing based on the role that they are added to, and also based on their role, because of course, traffic builder the views should go up, the revenue should go up, but the margin can go a bit down. With the long tail, I would say that your views can go down or be constant, but your revenue should go up and total margin should go also up as well with average margin. And yeah, generally this is how it looks. Maybe something that is a bit misleading is this, the last week, because this is the current week. So if we look at today, we calculate this from Monday. So of course this column will be lower than this because it's only for all the completed days of the week. So Monday, Tuesday. So it looks like this, like a drop, but of course with every next day it will grow and grow. Yeah, so filters by this. And now, as we have quite a lot of people who are our clients, I would like to ask you a question. You can, of course, join with this QR code. Which option would you like us to add? So first, two are connected to repricing AI. Maybe you want to influence the rules if you want to see more traffic or more margin. Maybe we should test the rules, our assumptions faster. Maybe you want a new model in Dilavo that will recommend some bestsellers from the market that you can add to your portfolio. Maybe you want a module for this cross-sell, recommending complementary products for the set or the section also bought with. Maybe you want a module to help you to allocate budgets for Google Ads, or maybe you have some other request and you can write it on the chat. Not everybody will see it, only us, it will be not public, but if you want to, you can share with us some particular requests. So please vote. It will be really interesting for me from the perspective of the product. Yeah, I cannot promise that we'll do this immediately, but it's really interesting. What is out of those things the most important for you? Okay. And now, if you have any questions, you can write them on chat. You can give us feedback for this webinar. And now let's go to questions. I'm interested. What I didn't cover. Yeah, so there is this webinar on Google Ads. Is the program available in Hungarian? So far, only Polish, German, and English. Of course, you can translate it with your browser, but so far, unfortunately, no Hungarian. I'm really sorry, but it's hard to manage all the languages. If you're a client, you already have those charts in the dashboard tab. I can show you in a second how it looks like. And if you don't have this, if you don't have them, then you can make this integration with Google Analytics on your own. I am loading the Lavo tab and I will share my screen in a second. Yeah. So technical team, if we can share my screen. Doesn't work. Okay, now you should see. So this is the Lavo, and you have products tab. And if you go to dashboards, you should see here, this is some test account. two charts, as I showed you. If you don't have it, you will have placeholder with a link to go to my account. And here you will have integration here. So you have to grant the access, put property ID. There is even a link from where to take this property ID. Choose the column with IDs, number of days, and then it will work. I mean, this ID is important because quite often people in DLAVO as ID have their EAN code, and in Google Analytics, this is some other ID. So we need to know which column in DLAVO is this ID that is the same as in Google Analytics, so we can match the products. So we will ask Google Analytics, give me ID, the products for the product with this ID, and then it will send it to us. If we ask for EAN code, it will not know what to send to us. So generally, every client of DLAVO gets those charts, can integrate for free with Google Analytics. And of course, there are different charts as well that are given for free as long as you integrate. And once again, the filtering by rule, AI rule, competitive relative to competitors, products without a rule, segments, traffic builder, potential traffic builder, long tail. Of course, you can also sort by groups, categories, brands, sources and retailers, and etc. So everything is possible right now. Maybe if we have a bit more time, I can show you one more thing, some new thing in DLAVO. So previously you saw only the DLAVO tab, the products tab, from the perspective of your e-store. So we took the prices from your e-store, we took and we gave you all the information from this perspective. So if the price of the product was 100, on your e-store we were giving you the ranking based on this margin, all the statistical data based on this. But now we added another option here. It's quite a small option, but it's really huge. It's talking about visibility. You can choose the perspective of the account. So if you have 5 different shops on Heureka, Arukeresho, if you have different prices there, if you have different category managers, e-commerce managers for those distribution channels, now you can choose this distribution channel, this shop, and see DLAVO, all the columns from this perspective. So now I have as Mega Kniche, and we didn't find any offer for those products, but looking for the offers for in price monitoring, we found that for this tool, the price is 26, and this gives us this position in the ranking. And if we go, for example, to margin, we also recalculated margin. So this is 67, and if we set this default, we will see some difference in the price. So here we have the prices and the normal prices from us, normal rankings, but we recalculated the margins for those products. This is 139. So now if you have multi-channel, you can see perspective of every shop that you have on every marketplace that you monitor here in DLAVO. So now every person responsible for every distribution channel can use DLAVO for the analysis. So just additional thing that is new in DLAVO. Are there any more questions? How much does the AI repricing program cost? It's in the price of normal repricing. So you have to buy price monitoring, and then in price monitoring you pay for the number of products that you monitor and the number of sources. So Google will be one, Amazon will be second, and so on. Then you have to pay on top for repricing, but in the price of repricing repricing AI is included. You don't pay additionally for repricing AI. And if you want to know more, there is a button contact us. You can contact us and we'll ask you about the number of products, websites, and we'll give you the price. And also, we can give you a demo of this app based on your products. This is not a problem for us. So if you're interested, just click contact us and we'll show you everything based on your products. Is there any other question? I think there's another one. It's quite similar price for different parts of the level solution. As I said, I cannot tell you directly what is the price because it's based on the scope, but if you want, you can contact us, ask us, give us the perspective of your needs, and we'll give you the price. It's not a problem, but right now I cannot tell you exactly because it varies. Okay, if there are no more questions, thank you very much. If you want to contact me directly on LinkedIn, feel free. You can ask some questions, add me to contacts, and we can be in touch. So thank you so much, and have a nice day.